So the Packers, they just clinched the playoff spot. So their spot in the playoffs is solidified. And I can say it's safe to say the division is solidified as well. They're going to win the NFC North.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think.
And man, they're 10-3. They're one of the best teams in the league. Aaron Rodgers is playing like an MVP. How far can they really go though? How far do you think this is just same old Green Bay? They made the NFC Championship last year, but they lost to San Francisco.
I would say no.
Do you think they're gonna make it that far again?
I think they can make it far, man. Like two big games for me this year you could take away from the Packers is that loss against the Vikings and the win against the Bucks. And that loss,
they lost to the Bucks.
They lost to the Bucks.
Yeah. They got embarrassed.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
So those two games that you look at, Vikings, everybody's saying, yo, this should be a cakewalk for the Packers. They're gonna win this game. All this, we all know how suspect that Vikings offense is, and they lost that game. And to me, after that game, I'm just like, okay, bad. It may be a bad game or whatever. But then when they played the Bucks, you're hoping for Rodgers to come out and show out and put up points. He didn't do that. Didn't they score like 10 points?
Yeah, I mean, he was getting pressured the whole game. Players couldn't get open. It was an embarrassing game. What I've noticed about the Packers is that when they go up against those defenses that are elite, that have good corners, that have great pass rushers, Aaron Rodgers gets hit a lot, and nobody can make a play because they key on Devontae Adams. And that's my concern with the Packers. My concern with the Packers is they don't have a guy outside of Devontae Adams. Robert Tonyan has come into his own. Marcus Valdes-Scantling is a burner, but he's very inconsistent. And Adam Lazard, you still don't know what you're getting with him week in and week out. I mean, they have the first scoring offense, but they're 17th in defense in terms of points allowed. So they allow a lot of points, and I was digging up on their stats, and they allow they're 21st in rushing first downs allowed. So teams keep drives alive on the Packers. And in the playoffs,
watch the Colts game. That was the
and in the playoffs, if you're going up against a team that can run or a good offense that you can't really stop, I just don't see the Packers maintaining that level, especially when they don't have a second guy outside of Devontae Adams.
I feel like their defense, what scares me about their defense is I feel like their secondary is not questionable. They're a solid secondary. They're a secondary that's gonna put pressure on receivers, no matter who's in front of them. Their pass rush is what is suspect to me. Sometimes Rashawn Gary looks great. Wins his one-on-one battles, getting to the quarterback, getting quarterback hits. I forgot who's on the other side, but sometimes
Preston Smith has had an off year. Darius Smith is elite though. He's their pass rusher.
Kevin King is
Kevin King is a corner. He's okay. The thing about it is that I think their pass rush is okay. I think it's good.
It's inconsistent though sometimes.
What I feel about the Packers is that they just can't stop the run. And it's been that way. Yeah, and it's been that way since last season. It's translating to this season.
They don't really have that big guy in the middle though.
They have Kenny Clark, but he's playing okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you look like one team that I think is horrible is the Bears. But one good thing about their defense is Hakeem Nicks. To have a guy like him in the middle and to stop that run, that's like intimidating on the offensive side, knowing that a guy like him is there. Now, when you say about the Packers on defense, another team's knowing that they let up that many first downs on the rush, they're not going to be afraid to run the ball. And they're not going to be afraid to just be one-dimensional. Like a team like the Vikings. Now that you say that kind of makes sense why they got blown out or lost the game or whatever. If you can't stop the run, then
Dalvin Cook is going to run wild. And
exactly.
He had a great game against the Packers.
Yeah, and running, you can run 4 plays in the NFL, 4 run plays, and that's like 3 minutes off the clock already. 3-4 minutes in the NFL is a lot of time.
And this is the difference that I see in the Packers versus other teams. Other teams have elite defenses. You mentioned the Rams is one of them. These are the Packers' defensive stats, right? They're 13th in rushing yards allowed per game. I mentioned they're 21st and they're 21st in rushing first downs allowed. They're 14th in receiving yards allowed, and opposing quarterbacks have an average of a 95.8 QB rating against them, which is ranked 22nd in the NFL. but they're 10th in rushing offense. This is now their offense now. They're first in QB rating. Aaron Rodgers has the best QB rating in the NFL. They're sixth in passing yards, and they're second in total offensive yards. You know, when you look at that, you say, wow, okay, so they have a elite offense. They have a average defense. Mm-hmm. The only way that average defenses can take a team over the top is if they take away the ball. And the Packers right now rank 27th in total takeaways, which means they don't force turnovers. And if you're an average defense and you don't force turnovers, if you're an offense, you can't rely on that defense to make any plays for you to be in better field position or for you to get the ball back to make plays on the offensive end. And that's what I feel like is going to cost them in the playoffs. Can they go to the NFC Championship again? I think it's possible.
I think they can.
But I just think the mismanagement of them to not draft a wide receiver in the draft is going to haunt them on this Super Bowl run.
I truly believe Devontae Adams is that he's a different caliber receiver to where no matter what, he's going to be open. And I think Aaron Rodgers is a type of quarterback where he's going to make anything. He's going to make something out of anything. So I feel like they're gonna do their thing offensively. You know, they're a top offense. You know, there's no question about it. Is their defense going to play up to what they can play up to? You know, are they going to help Rodgers out? And I feel like that's the biggest question. You know, when you're talking about playoffs in the NFL, it's defense. It's how, like, defenses can lead you through the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen that before with, you know, the Rams. Their defense led them through the playoffs, that Super Bowl run. Giants, 2 years they won the Super Bowl. That's defense. And a couple of lucky plays on the offense, you know, but their defense was elite those 2 years. And now you're looking at them and it's like, okay, your offense is so good. You could pass the ball. You could run the ball. You could basically do whatever. But can your defense, you know, get you those stops to put your offense in a good position? Mm-hmm. And against the Colts, I feel like defense was the difference in the game. Late game it came down to defense. Their defense couldn't stop them. And you know, Naheem Hines was running all over the place. And you know, when a team is running really well on a defense, that's gonna bring everybody in the box. And when you got everybody in the box like that, expecting to run, knowing, you know, your guys are gassed and everything, now you're gonna air it out, throw it over the top. You know, it's not gonna be good.
It creates a recipe for disaster.
Exactly.